Mm, Can I start? أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا. من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له. ونشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له ونشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله وبعد. فإن أصدق الحديث كتاب الله وخير الهدي هدي محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وإياكم ومحدثات الأمور فإن كل محدثة بدعة وكل بدعة ضلالة وكل ضلالة في النار وبعد. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. I've been given 2 hours to talk, but I think I need 2 days. And if your brothers are willing to insist us to stay, we can order some online and stay here. Barakallahu fikum. Listen, for the impact and for the sake to benefit from anything in the time in which we are, the better it is to be short and simple. And whenever I'm given time back home in New Zealand, if it is 40 minutes, it means 40 minutes. If it is 30, it means 30. And our khutbatul Jum'ah finishes with Salatul Jum'ah 1:05 in daylight saving 2:05. If you go and clock every Friday of those, I possibly only on Christmas and Easter holidays, I may increase it by a minute or two. So this is me, which also means that's a bad news. So we will be here till 5 o'clock. Don't worry. Don't panic. Now, inshallah, I will try to make it short and simple, as I said, and then I think the drill is that we take questions and answers. Is that what it is, Amrin? Naam, khairan. Look, we chose, or I gave a suggestion, and it was taken on board, related to blissful marriage and how to be married and stay happy as a married person. Now, normally when you invite a person who is a medical doctor, right? You don't tell him to talk about how to do fishing, do you? When you invite a sheikh, you don't tell him that tell us about, how to play soccer, which I can, I guess. So, inviting me to talk about a blissful marriage is a good sign that you may consider that that's what I have. And alhamdulillah, it's a ni'mah from Allah Azza wa Jalla. I do have that. A blissful marriage, also, you can give the title as an ideal family. That's where the family begins, right? Ideal means a standard of perfection, of beauty, of excellence in anything. Of anything which gives you that kind of satisfying thrill of perfection. And a family means where two persons or more are related, either by birth, by marriage, of course, by adoption, and at times being neighbors or friends, they may be considered as a family member. رُبَّ أَخٍ لَكْ لَمْ تَلِدْهُ أُمَّكَ. Maybe a brother of yours who is your brother, but you did not share your mother with him, meaning that he is a stranger to you, but you two live like brothers. So a family means a father, a mother, a brother, a sister, a husband, a wife, cousins, nephews, nieces, grannies, and so forth. These are what we normally refer to as family. Before, in fact, I have started, sorry about that, but before we really go to that, we need to understand that our family, do you people know when did our family start? Na'am, ma Adam wa Hawa. Adam alayhi salatu wasalam, who was about, not about, he was 60 zira tall. In Arabic, zira refers to a feet into an arm length. So either he was 60 feet tall or an arm length of 60, which will be almost 30, 40 meters. This is about 70, 80 centimeters. That's how tall was Adam alayhi salam. So naturally, Hawa was not like one of the sisters in height. She must be about just similar to him. Allah created Adam and his wife. Amongst the reason we already know that the survival kit of that man, and that's our father, would not have been possible without this woman, our mother Hawa. They were not in competition with each other, which has become the sickness of today. Men and women, they compete. In fact, men and women are complement for each other. And you will realize it when you ask me questions. One of the biggest pandemic of the divorce is that we have considered our wife and husband to be competition for us and not partners. If you would have considered her or him as a partner, the chances of divorce becomes less. The chances of enjoying your wife or husband becomes more. I have got amazing stories to share, amazing things to tell. I will say a few things, and I would encourage you, brothers and sisters, to ask me questions. Barakallahu fikum, hayyakumullah. You do know what is the first, what is the reason for the first sin when our first father was created? Who can tell me that sin? Na'am. Yes. No, the apple came after. We don't know was that an apple or a lychee fruit. We don't know yet. But they say it was apple. Yeah, something. Now, Iblis is the one I'm talking about, Iblis. But why did he commit that sin? Something like kibr, na'am. Arrogance. He said, Ana khayrun min, I'm better than him. That's what Shaitan said. Better than who? Adam. So he thought, Shaitan thought he is too smart. Shaitan thought that he is too good. Shaitan thought that I am better than Adam, so why should I prostrate? Ma mana'aka an tasjuda iz amartuk. So the very disease, the beginning of which in existence of Adam is the reason for Shaitan to be in hellfire, is al-kibr, arrogance, pride. I'm too good. And this can lead many of us to that. The moment you as a husband think that you are better than your wife, the moment the wife thinks she is better than her husband, which is worse than the husband thinking, any comment, any sentence I say, which you find ajib, you make a note and ask me. Any sentence, unless it is a mistake, which I will always correct myself, will always have evidence of that from either Quran or Sunnah. So when I said any man who considers himself to be better than his wife leads towards arrogance, and the same applies of a woman, but I also said then it becomes even worse. If you are able to understand English, you will be able to know what I am saying. If you do not, I will explain it later also. Barakallahu fikum. So men and women, they are partners. They are not competitors. Men and women, they are not Manchester United and Liverpool. All of them are Manchester United. Sorry, we lost in the morning. This is the way it is supposed to be. You get my point? So the moment you know she is not my competition, she is my partner, she is my love, he is my partner, you know, we are together in it. Almost all the differences and all the issues between husband and wife disappears. Now, Rasulullah alayhi salatu wasalam, he said, Inna dunya hulwatun khadiran, wa inna allaha mustakhlifakum fiha liyanzura kayfa ta'amalun fattaqud dunya wattaqun nisa. This hadith, I love this hadith, man. I love all the hadith, but there is, for this topic, I love this hadith for a reason. Then he said, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, فَإِنَّ أَوَّلَ فِتْنَةَ بَنِي إِسْرَائِيلِ كَانَ فِي النِّسَاءِ فَاتَّقُوا الدُّنْيَا وَاتَّقُوا النِّسَاءِ. Ya ilahi. Taqud dunya wattaqun nisa. Before that he said. Let me translate it. He said this dunya is hulwa, delicious, attraction is there. It's very attractive, sweet. Hulwa means sweet. Khadira means green. The word khadira, when reflected to the dunya, it means it's a very attractive place, a place which is lavish. Mostly it is to do with the greenish, because all the vegetables and all these products of this earth relates to green and water. However, desert can give you more at times. We have got countries who are super rich and they don't have much, but desert, because it yields what is referred to as black, what? Black gold. Naam. So that is also lavish. That is also hulwa khadira. It is. Now, then he said, sallallahu alayhi wasallam, Allah has sent you to this dunya, mustakhlifakum fiha, vice current as a khalifa in this dunya for what? Liyanzura kayfa ta'amalun, to test you what you do. Allah knows what you are going to do. The reason He sent you is to test you for your own benefit and for the evidence on you. Then He said, be careful of this world. Okay, in this world in which we are we part of this world or outside of this world? Part of it, na'am. But He singled out one thing from this entire world. What is it? Huh? An-nisa, the woman, they don't want to say it. Why? Why woman has been chosen and singled out, taken out of this entire dunya? Why? Okay, let me tell you this way. I will say, bro, you know, bro means brother, right? Modern language. Say, bro, you have to be careful, you know, there are too many animals in the place where you are going to do the camp. Are you going to tell him there are cockroaches there? Be careful, there are some mosquitoes there. There are some, though mosquito is very dangerous. Be careful, there are lots of cockroaches there. Be careful, you know, there are some butterflies there. You will think that you are, what? Cuckoo, right? Gone crazy. What are you talking about? Am I supposed to be careful of that? No. If he says, he will tell you there are lions there, there are tigers there. That's what is expected, right? Leopards are there, massive pythons are there, massive snakes are there. Something which has that impact. If I tell you, be careful there, behind that is a cockroach, you know, nobody. But the moment, say, this is afraid. The moment I say there's a lion coming, when I drive it in a certain way, and you know there are no lions in Malaysia apart from in the zoo, but for a while you may, you know what? It can happen, isn't it? No. So which means that animals are something very important in their own way. Either it is dangerous or something very expensive because you love to eat it or whatever. So from here it shows that the role of this entire woman is way above anything else. The power, the charisma, the thrill, the attraction, the lavish, the halawa, the sweetness, the impact, the influence. You keep on putting a list of, go and bring an Oxford dictionary, let us find few words. Put all of them together, everything is in that woman. That's why she has been chosen. وَاتَّقُوا النِّسَاءَ. Because of so much of power Allah has given them. What is the power? You say, if I invite one of the sisters and a brother, husband and wife, do arm wrestling, who is going to win? Husband, right? So that is not, what is her power? Tears, right? What is her power if she starts to walk like this, right? What is her power if she wears that high heel shoes and does TikTok? Right? Not the modern TikTok, which is the TikTok and Instagram, whatever, but the original TikTok, you know, those sounds. This is her power. Now you realized what I said about TikTok. He was thinking I'm talking about Instagram thing. No, yeah, okay. Look, I'm not of this TikTok time, yeah, okay. Barakallahu fi. So you see all these things. Wattaqun nisa. Be careful of women. Then he gave the example why. فَإِنَّ أَوَّلَ فِتْنَةَ بَنِي إِسْرَائِيل كَانَ فِي النِّسَاءِ. كانت في النساء. The first fitna of Bani Israel. Bani Israel, who are Bani Israel? Children of who? Yaqub ibn Ishaq ibn Ibrahim alayhim salatu wasalam. Israel is Yaqub. The fitna, there are other details in other hadith, started because of women. When they abused what Allah has given them. So here it shows the power which Allah has given women. From here we see that Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, min sa'adati ibni Adam al-mar'atu salihah wal-maskanu salih wal-markabu salih. Among those things which brings happiness for a man, Ibn Adam, pleasures, al-mar'atu salihah, religious, righteous woman. Al-maskan, he's mentioned three. Al-maskan as-salih, suitable abode, home where you live. Al-maskan as-salih is not in reference here to a house, it's in reference to a home. The difference when you want to distinguish, house is just a building. It could be 2 stories, 3 stories, town style apartment, unit style. It could be a palace style. It could be a bungalow style. It could be a life block style. It could be a simple bure. You know what is a bure? It's just hashed few branches of trees together and stuffs. It could be that. It could be made out of grass. It could be made out of tin or of just cardboard. That's a house. The home is the actual feeling, and whether it is azab, the punishment, or the joy which it brings to you when you are there and living in that place, in that hut or a palace. That's your home. So this al-maskan as-salih could be a hut for you, suitable, and you are happy living there, or could be a bigger house or a massive home, depends on your income, depends on many things. You should know that many of those who live in those massive houses, most of us, bi'idhnillah, we are far more satisfied and happier than them. We may have no house, we may be renting, and may rent all our life. But the happiness which you have, if they know it, they will kill you to get it. Believe me, no exaggeration at all. Isn't al-mar'atu salihah, al-maskanu as-salih, and al-markab as-salih. Al-markab is anything you ride. That could be a camel, it could be a horse, it could be a car. So it doesn't mean where it is Proton or whether it is Toyota or BMW or Mercedes or Wellfire or any fire. Doesn't matter. It's what gives you that suitability in it, and you are happy about it. Qana'a, you have to make yourself satisfied. Not every time you are driving the, oh, I wish I had that black wildfire. After a while, it goes and comes there, another limousine. Oh, I would like to love it. That kind of person, even if he drives every day in a helicopter, will never be satisfied. The next thing he wants is Aladdin mat to fly on. Once he gets that, he will want to be something else. You get that person is never ever going to be satisfied of what, no. What is suitable for you and that gives you that form of tranquility, that form of satisfaction. Very important. Barakallahu fikum. When most of you are grown-ups, mashallah, and probably some of you have cars and others may not have, but you are able to afford to go in a Grab wherever you want. So, but there were times you may not have been able to afford that. Now you are able to afford it. Now you are looking for something more. That's only normal of human beings. But at the same time, you have that satisfaction in you. Only then these kind of things will bring sa'adah to you. So you have al-mar'atu salihah. What is a mar'atu salihah? Does she have to be someone like Aisha radiallahu ta'ala anha, Fatima radiallahu ta'ala anha, Khadija radiallahu ta'ala anha? Wallahi, if you get one like that, mashallah, you are in the Jannah already. But then you are not Abu Bakr, Umar, Usman and Ali, isn't it? Or are you? You are not. You are not even near to the tabi'in. So let us, focus on what your standard is also. Sometimes you go, very important, of course, these things will be coming, but it just comes in my mind. Let me share it. I think that was Dr. Usman Khamis, Hafidahullah, or someone else. He was giving a lecture and I heard it. A woman, a man, it starts with a man. He went and he proposed and he wanted to get married to a woman, yes. Don't run after LBGT, Akhi. I wanted you to speak up. Come on, yes. That's another issue we need to talk about. So, the father of the girl is there. The brother came to sit down to see her, and the woman, she walks in full niqab. Full niqab. And she sits in front of the man to see, and after a while, she walked off. And the system is that you bring something, traditions, cultures differ from place to place. So she went away, and this man is watching her. She has been in niqab, and I haven't seen her. So what's the story? So he was able to talk and say to the father of the girl, look, she's supposed to uncover her face so I can see her, Then father of the girl, he said, he told me that I will come in full cover, and if I accept him, then I will uncover. Which means he was rejected, but at the same time, she has the right also, okay, you are not allowed to see me, and if I agree with you, only then I will show myself up to you. So the original is that, when the culture is that the woman will come with the shahi or juice and a bit shivering, maybe a little bit acting to give it to the man, and then she may sit down. But now it has become opposite. She would be walking in like this, and then the man is the one who is taking, Allah understand. They've changed, ya akhi. I'm telling you, it's a serious issue right now. It is funny, but we know it is not. In the facts of real life, it is not. So, I remember when I got married, that's many of you would not be born. The only one who would have been a young brother at the time I got married is this Mr. Handsome in the black cowboy from. Are you from Texas? No. Okay, mashallah, mashallah. But you are my friend, I love that he has already seen. I have my cowboy cap with me. At least I was too shy. My wife, in fact, didn't give it to me to bring it. I always wear that, and I love those caps. Mashallah, jazakallah khairan. Okay, so it's about. I will choose to mention this one later on, inshallah. So when we talk about, happy marriage, I can just give ayah and hadith and class and finish and go. But we are not here, it's not about it. It's about what is going to work for me. And of course, it is going to be based on Quran and hadith, but at the same time, we want to create an environment which is receptive of what we are saying. Barakallahu fikum. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, he also said, Man wajada imra'atan salihah faqad istakmala nisfa dinihi falyattaqillah fi ash-shatr ath-thani. Anyone who has a religious wife has half the deen. Khalas. You see, sisters, how much Allah has given you. Not that you are this entire dunya, fattaqud dunya wattaqud nisa. Not only that, you see the power Islam has given you, sisters. On top of that, you are half the deen, half the religion. It's explained in many ways, but that's what you are as a woman. So this is what Islam has given you. But unfortunately, we are running after the trend of places and time and not after the trend of Islam. To prove that, I will share with you the story of Sa'id ibn al-Musayyib rahimahullah. Sa'id ibn al-Musayyib rahimahullah, he had a daughter. He is from ulama tabi'in. And he used to pray in the first saf of Masjid Nabawi for 40 years, always. How many years? 40 years. And one day, he was a scholar. He found that his student Abu Wada'a did not attend classes for about 3 days. He asked the students, where is Abu Wada'a? He was informed that his wife died. So he had to take care of his whole house for a while. That's why he couldn't come. Sa'id ibn al-Musayyib, when Abu Wada'a, when he met him next, he said, did you get married? He said, Sheikh, how can I be married? I don't have money. My wife just expired and I have to take care of things. I don't have any. He was yatim, faqir and miskin. So he knows what it means by being miskin. So you can ask him later on. Yeah, so he was a miskin, Abu Wada'a miskin, right? So he said, so he said, no. How much of money you have? He said, I think he mentioned few dirham, meaning like few dollars, few ringgit, whatever. He said, Khalas, if you want, I will give you my daughter, Zawajtuka binti, my daughter with this mahar. He said, okay, I accept. And he couldn't believe it. This is a sheikh giving his daughter to someone who is already married before, children. So he went home and he was fasting that day. So he didn't have much and part of the details. So somebody knocked the door late night, probably after Isha, not like our late night means 2 or 3 in the morning, right? But late night there means straight after Salatul Isha. Min al-Albab, who is there? He said, Sa'id. So Abu Wada'a is saying, I don't know any Sa'id apart from my Sheikh, Sa'id ibn al-Musayyib, and nobody has seen him anywhere apart from the masjid or his home. And he's trying to think, he said, I couldn't make it. The only Sa'id I know is my Sheikh. So I opened the door and I see my Sheikh in front of me. And he said, the Sheikh is saying, look, you got married to my daughter and I did not want you to spend another night without your wife. So I brought her with me. And the daughter was behind him, not like the typical scenario of today would be if you get your daughter, not used to you, but example, right? Get married to someone. So when you bring your daughter to him, she is ahead of you and shaking hands with everyone. Hi. How are you, brother? Hi. What is this, Yaki? This is not. This is not an attribute character rejected in Islam. We already know what it is. So, and no centuries, 24th or 21st or 22nd century will never change this. People will change, people will become weak in Iman, all these things. That's different. I'm talking about what Islam is. So it brought the daughter in front, and we know that how they were living in those days, mashallah, tabarakallah. Out of shyness, modesty, hayat, she fall down on the ground. But the sheikh went away, your wife, khalas. Then he said, I didn't know it. And Abu Wada, in spite of being married for how many years, Allahu Alam, he didn't know what to do. So he called his mother, and mother came and things, and what happened? Oh, my sheikh, well, I got married to her, and whatever he told her. Said, you are not allowed to be near her. Let me get her dressed and arrange everything, which, like, what do we do before getting married? Yeah, come on, miskin, yes. Before the marriage, say for example, marriage, the nikah is on Saturday. What happens before that? Huh? Okay, decorate. No, I'm talking about men and women. Forget about the whole, yeah, okay. There is henna night, right? And some cultures have bachelor's night, whatever, all these kind of things. And then that is the last day you laugh in your life, all this. Okay, all these things happens, right? Yeah. If you need lessons, Mr. Kabo is here. I will tell you. Yeah. Okay. So what happens after? Then the nikah happens, right? So all those things which I'm talking about with Abu Wada and his wife. So the miskin Abu Wada takes his book next day, getting ready to go to where? School, to the university. So wife is away. Went through her. Where are you going? And I'm going to your Baba's class, your father's class. He said, come here. What do you want to learn? So he found that all which he was learning with his sheikh, his daughter knows it all also. Subhanallah. So she became his teacher and she taught him. And this is, I'm not saying that all of you become the daughter of Sa'id ibn al-Musayyib. That's not possible. Or for you to become Abu Wada, or for you to become Sa'id ibn al-Musayyib. It's practical, it's possible, but not for everyone. And the tawfiq is from Allah Azza wa Jalla. Those were the days, and those days can still be today. I got married in 92. I never saw my wife, and she never saw me. And we never knew each other, and we were not even related. And I found myself in America. I was in master's degree, 92 in Medina. So I came back from America, and I'm supposed to fly back from Fiji, fly back to Saudi in 3 days' time, I think. So my dad said, son, get married. I said, okay, fine, I'll get married. And my wife was in high school, and my friend of mine, he used to tell me, I called him, okay, I'm coming to see it. So I go all the way from Nelly to Suva, the capital, driving more than it's now about 3-4 hours of drive. And she was at home. She didn't even know, eldest of the siblings, she didn't even know that somebody is going to come to see her, to get married to. It was only after her brothers, they went, and sisters, to school, she was told that somebody is coming to see you. So, of course, that all the shahi and shaking and the coming and putting it in front of me, and instead of me, she ended up seeing my father. She thought that she's getting married to an old man. But of course, you are shy. This is what real shy is being, And then straight after, we had to go and find one more witness. There was only one witness there. We need 2 witnesses. Instantly there, we got married. So for me, there was no henna night and no nothing, just straight marriage. And then we went to the court to get the marriage certificate, because I needed the certificate to apply for the visa when I go back to Medina. So still it is in existence. It can happen, but I had done my job before. I did the istikhara and everything, not about who is my wife, but about the one who will be my wife. What I want in her, and she must have done whatever guess what, I should ask her when I go back to the hotel today, that did you make any istikhara before, something like that, or it just happened in a dream and you decided? Everybody thinks that your husband to be will come in a tall horse and he will be like riding a horse or something like it. It doesn't happen that way. I went in a car anyway. And maybe your husband or wife you just saw walking on the road and you decided she is my wife. Things like this, right? But the thing is that anything happens, it has to be Islamic. And so the story of Sa'id ibn Musayyib has motivated me a lot. That the simplicity of life and what it brings for you in your life with your wife. So for the two of you to be successful, and that's part of any person's life and living, that you need to understand a lot. And we are in different times, so the challenges have become more and worse. Also, we need to know that even before marriage, there are things which wasn't norm and should not be norm and has started to become norm. Like the movement of LGBT and those extra words there, TQ and whatever. Current situation is if your son today comes and says to you, Dad, I love someone and I want to get married to. Your first, what your first concern is now as the father of sons, who can tell me? What will your first concern be now? Say it. What gender? None. So if he says, who is that person's son? If he says, Maryam or Khadija, you are so happy. In my time, you would not be able to say, Maryam, and boom, you are dead, Kalas, I won't be here today. That was in my time. But now, if you are that young person and you chose someone to get married to, the only thing your father's concern is that you are a man and she is a normal biological woman, not even transgender or anything. Then he'd go, Alhamdulillah. The father won't say to you, Alhamdulillah. But inside he knows my son is good. Why? Because he chose what is normal. I'm not saying that is it allowed in Islam. What I am saying is what our current problem is. This is where we are today, subhanAllah. So, challenges are different now. In Premier League, you know what is Premier League, right? Soccer of the UK, England, right? So their system of soccer league is called Premier League, which is considered the best and the top most expensive worldwide. Now, they have this thing to promote this LGBT thing. And they make all the players with the team to wear it. And of course, Manchester United, Nasruddin, that Morocco brother, Mercury, he rejected. So the rest of them, they rejected with it. This is where it is. The entire team, Manchester United, worth billions of dollars, they promote these kind of things. And they expect your player who you have a contract with to play soccer, not to promote these guys. Yeah, where is your freedom if you really talk about freedom? I'm just giving this example to tell you where we are and where we were. So we are in a time, we agree, different, but in no way it allows anything which is un-Islamic. So today we have social media, we have WhatsApp, we have Viber, we have got so many other ways, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, before that the original emails, right? No men and women are allowed to be in connection through any of these devices if they are not married or unless there is something else which makes them be simple. You want to know the sister to get married to, so she becomes your wife instead of just a sister. You know the brother, or you want to get married to a brother so that he becomes your husband. The channels are still the same. It is never going to change. through third party, through millions of other parties, but not directly, through under a special guidance and through restrictions, and even after agreement the fourth between the two of you to be married to, even if everything is almost legal, still you are not to be in contact without guidance. Simple. This is Islam, and there is no way for anyone to bring any evidence to show that what I have said is not correct. And this is what we have lost. This is what we have lost. Now, I'm talking about, when you, how to maintain your marriage. This is the beginning. If the beginning wasn't the very accurate, what may come after may be less successful. So it's very important for us to know. And also you need to know that after you choose your wife, equal rights, same rights is given to the wife to choose her husband. We have to be practical. We have to be practical. So if you are someone, say a brother who is just 5'6", 5'7", 5'8" in height, and he is looking for a woman who plays basketball for New Zealand, 6'3", 6'4", 6'5", 6'6". Some of those women are 7 feet. Let's be practical. If a brother is 200 kg, mashallah, barka, every day he eats beef, and he's looking for a wife who is just 50 kilograms, it's not practical. You get my point? If he's laughing, you have got, you want to say something? Say it, sorry, it's okay, nobody will hear it. No, you don't want. Okay, later on. Okay, right, no worries. Later on you can share with me. Barakallah. So we have to be practical. If I'm someone who is not that young anymore, if I need a wife, I should be looking at someone who is similar to me in age. Halal, yes. 20 years old, 25, it's okay. But we are looking for something which is practical for every one of us. We are looking for marriage not for a day or two. We are looking to be partners together, not the Western kind of partner. In New Zealand, I don't allow people to say, she's my partner. You say, she's my wife. Because partners, they are anybody living like husband and wife, and they are not married. They are partners. Linguistically, she is my partner. But because of the current usage of it, I say, don't use it. So you are looking for that permanent partner of yours. So you have to be someone who is, sometimes you end up getting married to someone you don't even know her language. She is, for example, Chinese and she has no English, and you are from somewhere, Euro or something, and African tribes and stuff, and just an example, or from Kerala or something, and you know only Tamil or Telugu, and you get married to someone who only talks Chinese. How at least either you learn Chinese first or let her learn your language. Why I'm saying that? Because the differences of culture, the differences in not being able to communicate with each other in full and with full capacity and without any reservations are one of the biggest reasons for talaq. Differences in culture is also one of the reasons. Differences in the status is another reason. Some of those, like I mentioned about the age or the height or the weight, are also amongst the reasons. So that's why you have been given Islamically full right to choose someone who is suitable and adaptable to you. Your choices as a woman or man may differ from another one. One rejected by one could be your favorite because your choices and his are different. Simple as that. It doesn't mean if she is rejected by someone, then she is not good for you. Maybe she is far better than what you were expecting. So all these things are important. And also, so many other things. Barakallahu fikum. So we know that when choosing a wife, that's one point. I'm giving, subhanAllah, in fact, even only choosing about a wife, we can talk about for hours, right? Then, not only choosing the wife, because we are, or the husband, we are looking at the art, art of dealing with others. In Arabic, it is called fan ta'amul. Fan, fa, noon. And not the F-U-N fun, not that fun, that's English fun. We have fun ta'amul, the art of dealing with others. That's also something which you need to learn. You need to know how to speak to your wife. You need to know how to speak to your husband. You need to know your husband is different from you. If your husband shouts, you shouldn't be shouting. That's one side of it. Oh, he can talk loudly. Why shouldn't I? Ya ukhti, you are a woman. You are not a man. Why do you want to imitate a man? It's not an excuse for him to talk loudly, but naturally our voice is more louder than of a woman's. She said, no, I have to speak like him. Then what about if your husband from tomorrow says, are you good? Okay, did you make breakfast, dear? Then what are you? What happened to you? You have got sore throat? I think we should be saying the same. Have you got something opposite the sore throat? You are trying to match my standard of voice. You know, it's like, let your husband be with the beard and mustache. That's what Allah has given them as a beauty. Or what about if your wife comes tomorrow and she has got, even though fake it may be, mustache and beard and taqiyah and a tasbih in the hand? Oh, that's another issue. Oh dear, what happened to you? You say, I want to be a mutawwa', meaning I want to be a very religious man now. Is that acceptable? Rejected, because you are imitating a man. Women has got their own standard and men has got their own standard, right? So we have to act within that perspective. Barakallahu fikum wa hayyakumullah. So now, you while dealing with all these things between husband and wife, we need to know our barrier and how to behave in our levels of things. Barakallahu fikum. So for a man has to be a man, a woman has to be a woman. Fannu ta'amul, the art of dealing with each other, is very important. And this comes before anything else. Now, I think Dr. Umar, I forgot his name, Hafidahullah in Riyadh, he was giving a lecture. He said, you know, a husband and wife, they got married, of course, and they went on honeymoon. You know what is honeymoon, right? Alhamdulillah. So they ended up in a hotel, and the woman was coming out of the toilet, and she slipped, and she was falling down. But mashallah, her husband was a superman, and he was, guess what, good luck for her, because he was on duty that day also. So he flew all the way. I'm exaggerating a bit, right? But this is a real story. He flew. I know you people know how much is exaggeration, but it's part of the story of the real. And he held her before she fall down, like the rugby player, they catch the ball before it falls on the ground, right? Like that. And then she didn't fall down on the ground. He held up and said, MashaAllah, Tabarakallah, all these dua, are you okay? You know, with these beautiful words, and not injured, inshallah, everything okay. He must have been checking her teeth and eyes and ears and whatever, you know. MashaAllah. All the dua, MashaAllah, all the barakah. The woman is complaining now that exactly after 1 year, they end up going on another trip, and it so happened they chose the same hotel. Subhanallah, they ended up in the same room. But the superman in his duty was missing on that day. The only thing missing. Now the scenario is, subhanallah, shuf what happens. Wallahi. She walks out of the toilet and she again slipped. And is falling down. She must have been waiting for her superman to come and hold her. But he was missing on duty. So she ended up falling. If you make it a, slow motion, and imagine, she must have thought about it. Allahu Alam, it must have been fast, but she may have thought about it. But this time she fall down on the ground. There is no one to come and check her up or to come and comfort her. But he's saying, Amaiti, auntie, are you blind? Didn't you see? Aren't you careful? Can't you be? In 1 year, ya akhi. And this is, believe me, a reason for many arguments to start. One thing starts and it ends up with another. Isn't it true? So, fannu ta'amul, how you deal, the art of dealing with others, is very important. Another man, he was standing in the veranda. You know, veranda, normally a porch-like thing. There's a house and there's outside you can stand. And this husband and wife were watching at the moon. Right? Full moon. You know what is full moon? When the moon is out there for you to see, real moon I'm talking about. Right? So there was this, mashallah, miskin walking on the road, and he heard husband and wife talking, and he got very happy. The husband is saying to his wife, "Can you see that full moon there?" She said, "Yes, I can see it." "Can you see that it's so beautiful?" She said, "Yes, indeed, wallahi, this is very beautiful moon." Then the husband looks at his wife and says, "Wallahi, but you are more beautiful than full moon." MashaAllah, this man, he got very excited. He thought that I'm going to do the same for my wife. It is something very nice to speak. This is fun time. So he went home, I don't know after how many months or whether it was the same day or the next day. He calls his wife and says that, "Can you see that full moon up there?" The wife said, "Do you think I'm blind? I can't see it." At least she should have, you get my point? So, if you really go and sin, I speak of myself, and I'm pretty sure it applies to all of us who are married. So many times we could have used better words and make things look more lovely and nicer. Even though she knows it's not possible, right? I just said to my wife today, I think I remember, I guess my wife will get angry if I say it, but something like this. I said, it was either today or yesterday. I said, look, wallahi, I said, mashallah, tabarakallah, not this, that if you know how much I love you, if you find out, you will be dead out of happiness. You get my point? Of course, she won't die. She will become more better, inshallah. But this is a way of talking at times. And I'm a father of 8 grandchildren, alhamdulillah, which means I'm still young, mashallah. Right. But the thing is that it's the art of talking. You say, "Oh, what does it matter? I'm very old, and she is old." Wallahi, it matters. I will prove it. Right. If I tell to a brother who is 40, 50 years old, maybe he's not handsome looking, maybe he only has 1 pack, he couldn't eat another 5 to eat. But you say, "Brother, you look so handsome. MashaAllah, you are young, you are lavish, man. You can get any woman in your life. You, MashaAllah, you what? Why don't you try?" "Brother, I'm saying she will." I say, "I'm saying you, she will." Wallahi, he knows that you are lying. But will he cry? Will he get angry? Will he slap you? No, he will laugh. He will smile. For a while, he may even get excited and believe you. You get my point now? What about if you say this to a woman and she's your wife? Say, for example, she's missing all the teeth because she's too old now. It happens to everyone, right? Okay. And she is no more what she was. She's a great grandmother now. But you as a husband, when you get to that age, even if you are lying, you say it. The beauty is from the heart. You have to know that. She will know that what you are saying is not right, but this will bring a smile in her toothless face. Now, so imagine when it is true. Imagine when it is fitting within what you are saying, how important it is. Exactly like that, if you pass bad comments about her or him, even though it may be in her or him, it will bring anger to them. Grievance, fight. So we need to know, this is one of the most important things which you have, your tongue, how you use it. Very important. From here, in my category, the most important thing for the success of your marriage, of course from tawfiq from Allah and practicing Islam, but about practicing between the two of you is respect. It's not love. It is respect. At times, love is attached in a lot of way to the physical side of it, which is not never going to be permanent. For some, it may be if you lose your life and die young. Some, they've been given beauty and it doesn't fade. But most of us, no. So if you don't have respect for your wife and she doesn't have for you as a husband, even if you are the most beautiful and the fittest and the healthiest and the wealthiest, it doesn't matter. Either she will lose you or you are going to lose her. So respect is the first thing. Always remember that. There was this man in Riyadh, same Sheikh, Dr. This is a surgeon, I think, he's speaking in Riyadh, that he came for surgery, I think this old man, and he had something to do and they needed to put injection or something. And he said, please treat me quickly. Well, I don't have much time, just treat it quickly, even pain, no, that doesn't matter. Why? I have an appointment with my wife to take breakfast together. For what? Breakfast. Then the doctor said, what does it matter? It's only breakfast you are going to have with your wife and she's not going anywhere, so she will tolerate you if you are a bit late. Then he said, he mentioned some amount of years I have been taking breakfast every day with her at this time and I don't want to miss it. Okay, one day won't matter. I said, yes, it doesn't matter to her. She would not even remember her because she has become childish, she has lost her brain, she has lost her memory. She even doesn't know that this person is his, what? Is her husband. She doesn't know that. So how can she keep the track of it? Then the doctor said, then it is even more easier. He said, no. She doesn't know me. She will not miss me, but I know her. And I will feel it if I miss the appointment or I am late. This is what ihtaram is. This is what respect is. Without waiting in return for anything, you are giving her everything. From here, I use the other thing as the most important, probably after respect. And that is, never find out what your rights are on her or him, depending on who you are, man or woman. But always ensure and focus on fulfilling the obligations, the rights which your husband or wife has on you. Your duty as a husband is what? Do it all with no expectation from her. You as a wife, you fulfill every obligation as a wife should be Islamically towards your husband without waiting anything in return. Ya akhi, even al-hajar, Allah said, the stone, if Allah orders, water will gush out of it, right? تَتَفَجَّرُ مِنْهُ الْأَنْهَارُ وَإِنَّ مِنْهَا لَمَا يَهْبِطُ مِنْ خَشْيَةِ اللَّهِ. And those who prostrate to Allah from the stones. Your wife and your husband, they are flesh, they are bodies. Will it not affect them if you treat them like that? Yes. So always it's like that, a glass of water up till here. So one will say it's a half glass full of water and another one will say it is half glass empty. So if you think that it is half glass full, you are positive. If you look at it, oh, it's half glass empty, you are looking at it from the negative point. So, mashallah, tabarakallah. You look at it from the positive side. And this is very important. Wa barakallahu fikum. And I know I have taken 1 hour plus, so I will leave it to the questions, but I will quickly share a few things. Like main reasons for divorce in Malaysia is the outside of marriage, adultery, relationships, whatever. They are married and they have got another thing. And from here comes the pandemic of no segregation in the culture. Men and women competing in the same business, same market, same work, which was supposed to be done by men. You know, if apply it anywhere in the world, choose a city, 1 million people, go back what it was 200-300 years ago. Men, they work outside, women, they maintain the home. You will say that, oh, where are we going to go? Because we have got average income. How are we going to survive and sustain? Wallahi, Allah will give barakah to these people. In the beginning, they will struggle. Then they will find that the wages are going up because it's only men competing in the market. Only men working, they will get more wages. It's not that women, they don't deserve more than men in wages. It's not, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about how can you sustain the family. And all of a sudden you see, oh, as a man, I can sustain the family because everybody is running in the same way. You go like this. So these are all products of these kind of things, where these kind of issues happens. Among those things are social media. Women are about 69% compared to men of 21% who seek divorce first. 31%. The women are the most ones who divorce first, seek for it. Many they think that if I divorce my wife, I can't tolerate her husband, I will be successful in the second. You will be surprised. Statistics are that the first time marriage, divorce is between 40 to 50%, whereas those who get married second or third time, their rate of divorce is between 60 to 67%. The likelihood of them to succeed in the marriage is less. And also, you know which country in the world has the highest rate of divorce? Who can tell me? It's a Muslim country. Huh? Muslim country and very small. Maldives, naam. Maldives. Highest divorce rate. It's in the Guinness book now. So said. Maldives. Do you know in which country divorce is illegal, not permitted? Huh? Naam, Philippines. Whether they do it or not, but this is what it is. It is normal legal, but in Islamic places it's different, but this is what it is by law only. Then, of course, there are divorces by religion and things. I'm not going to mention all those things, but there are so many things which we need to share. I will mention quickly things which will help you to maintain. I gave you the word of al-ihtiram, the respect, and then sharing with others, fulfilling the rights and obligations of others, your wife or husband, compared to waiting for your rights to be fulfilled and so forth. So respect, communication, forgiving quickly, physical affection, being kind to each other, and intimate relationship, forgiveness, prioritizing things between yourselves, always talking to each other and sharing. Remember that you are not married to in-laws, but you are married to one person, and that is either your wife or husband. So that is where all the things should start and finish. Trust, and in time of disagreement, you agree, meaning that agree to disagree, meaning we all are different and our choices at times can be different. So if you like something, it doesn't mean that you like it, she has to like it. No, our choices are different. For each one of these, there are hundreds of examples which can be given. Barakallahu fikum. Among those things, unfortunately, which brings divorce are domestic violence, lack of commitment, lack of intimacy, abusing, or at times being married when they are still too immature and don't know the responsibilities. At times it's those kind of things which is not in your control. It could be health issues, it could be financial and other issues. Wallahu alam, wa barakallahu fikum wa jazakumullahu khairan. Now, as I said, this topic is huge and big. Hopefully that I did not bore you with talking too much. And I would like to open this session if there are any questions, inshallah, and I will try to answer it, inshallah, if I'm able to. Barakallahu fikum. Yes. I would prefer you send it to me, and I will, or give it to a brother. They will read. Give it to a brother to read it, please. You want to read, or read it? Okay, read it. It's written in English or? Yeah. Yes. Read. No, with the mic. You want a mic? Is this? Yeah, okay, shout, mashallah. Huh?
What if we come to realize that we don't share the same that's different? We try to save the marriage still, or
Look, divorce at times is haram, at times mustahab, recommended, at times it's makruh, detestable, at times it is haram. It will differ from one situation to another. So it's impossible for a man and woman to be equal like this. Impossible. There will be differences. You may be crazy about each other in the earlier stage of your marriage and willing to and happily overlooking shortfalls and shortcomings because you are just, as they say, love is blind, which is not true, but that's a way of saying it. So you overlook things in order to be together. But as things fades away, or you start to get more mature, or the reality of that comes and it strikes you, that is when the differences between the two becomes bigger than what it was in the beginning for you. This is where all these kinds of issues may happen. That's one. The other is, it may not have been then, but now it has become, and the reasons for that can be various, and challenges can be many. Now, all these differences or reasons which is creating that kind of discomfort and sadness or grievance in the marriage, and you find that you are not succeeding, it does not really mean that either you are wrong or him. It may not be, but because it is out of his hands. For example, whatever job he is able to do, he is not able to maintain you and him or the family because the wages is not enough. Or probably he is going through health issues and and he is not able to fulfill your needs because he is going through certain stage in his life. All these and many other things are. So in this case, do you choose a divorce or should you have sabr? It will all depend. At times, sabr is better. At times, seeking divorce and parting ways could be better. It all depends on the situation. So it's not one outright answer. You will have to go to the sheikh, one or more, two or more even if needed, and advise and explain why you are here and do counseling. After that, you find still that, or as per the advice, that this is what is correct for you, then you proceed with that, not before.
married for 30 years, first wife, to move on. Then she is applying for misuse grounds to meet is capable to satisfy any right.
Who is applying for nushuz? The husband. She. She is applying that she doesn't want to be married.
Then she is applying for this ground that has no sex from her husband.
Yeah, so she is seeking for khula or for divorce, whichever. Okay. I did handle a case like this where once people they get a bit mature, probably in their 40s or 50s, then for either valid or non-valid reasons, they find that they are not able to or capable or able to live together, as one of these is being mentioned here. Physical attraction is not the only thing which keeps the two together as being married husband and wife. So this should not be the reason if that is a reason through which they are. However, because of that, at times there happens a nufra, hatred between the two. They are not able to tolerate themselves, which is not exactly we are not in need, but it is a level above. If it goes to those kind of level, then of course it may be better for the two to be parted. But if it is only on the basis of that, and the husband is saying, please stay as my wife, fine, alhamdulillah, then it is better not to seek divorce. Remember, husband and wife relationship is two-way traffic. It's not one way. Do you know Barira radiallahu ta'ala anha and Mughith? Both of them, they were slaves. And they were married together as husband and wife while they were slaves. Aisha radiallahu ta'ala anha, she emancipated Barira. She freed her, meaning that she bought her and freed her. All of a sudden, for whatever reason, she changed. He is a Sahabiya in Ahl Jannah, inshaAllah. But she did not want to stay with her husband anymore. Mughis is running after her, trying to, but she refuses. She said, divorce me. He goes to Rasulullah alayhi salatu wasalam and tells him about his situation. Rasulullah alayhi salatu wasalam goes to Barira and says, Ya Barira, why don't you reconsider and take him back, meaning that stay being married? Barira simply said, Ya Rasulullah, is it your command? Meaning, if you say that I have to, I will. But then he sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, you see, Islamically, nobody is forced to be married. She is married and now she is seeking divorce. He never forced her. He said, no, Shafa, intercession, I'm just here to say to you on behalf of him, which means please consider if you want to. She said, if this is the case, then I don't want to be married to her. They ended up in divorce. وقد قال صلى الله عليه وسلم أتعجبون من حب برير لحب مغيث لبريرة ومن كره بريرة لمغيث. Are you people surprised how much Barira hates her husband and how much Mughith, he loves his wife? But he never said that both of them were wrong. No. She was right, she couldn't control. That's muhabba, is from the heart. It's not in her control. There is a certain amount you could take control of. That's why Rasulullah alayhi salatu wasalam, when he was married to all these wives, he was just in everything. How many days here, how many days there, what to spend here, what to spend there. Then he said, Allahumma hadha qismati fima amlik. Wala tu'akhizni fima la amlik. Or kama qala sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, Ya Allah, this is what I own, what I control, what I can. Do not hold me responsible of which I don't have control on. And what was that? Heart. His love for Aisha radiallahu ta'ala anha is known. He loved her more than others, but it does not mean he was not fair with others. No. In fact, Aisha radiallahu ta'ala anha, wa mother, she knew this. And that's why she was very challenging. She was able to do things as a wife may do, like being a bit mischievous or things like this, with no other mothers of ours would dare. But she was able to do few of those. So you see, this is it. Barakallahu fikum wa jazakumullahu khairan. Naam.
The question, how to easily forgive house husband, adultery with the woman?
First of all, the punishment for adultery, being married, the same punishment is for men and women both. It's not that men are different than women. No, it is not. That's point number one to be considered. Point number two, although the sin is same, but for a man, he can at least be married to another woman, 2, 3, 4. But for women, it is totally, absolutely rejected in every form, because she at any time can only be married to one man. Simple. If the husband or wife are willing to forgive and move forward, that's upon them, between the two of them. If he or she chooses to come to a solution to discontinue being married, that is the right of that person also. So it depends on them. At times it's just a matter of it may happen for any reason, while as a family they have been very stable all the life. These are among the points which may be considered on whether you want to carry on or not.
Why many men nowadays are lazy to work and living with work?
Okay, are you brothers lazy? So I don't need to speak on this, because all these brothers are very hardworking. Okay, but anyway, yes, This is a problem almost in every culture, where because they find their women are working in all these shopping malls, and they are the ones who are running all the supermarkets, they are the ones who are running all being whatever, bringing money home, and he got married to her because he saw her working. And then all of this becomes the reason for them to become lazy. So in an indirect way, the woman is the reason they have become lazy, but that is not an excuse. I'm just telling the practicality and the reality of life, what it is. But of course, if that is the case, you know, الرجال قوامون على النساء, when men are managers over women, he has to stand up for being that. He is the breadwinner. He is supposed to run the entire financial ministry of the home. Even if your wife is rich, even if your wife works, she is not supposed to spend even one ringgit of that money in the home. She wants happily from herself, fine. Islamically, you have no right to ask for it, no right to make her do that. Simple as that. So a man should be working hard and doing that. And if that becomes the reason and the wife doesn't want to tolerate and want to part, it is a have to do that, right to do that.
How to overcome fear of marriage? Because
So you will be getting married second time, you mean?
yes.
Oh, mashallah. I thought you were not married.
The question.
Oh, the question. Okay. Barakallah fikum. Once bitten, twice shy. It's a truth. It doesn't happen to everyone. If the divorce has been extremely complicated with lots of issues, then it's only natural for a person to become that. But it is a general advice for the brother and the sister that it does not mean that if the marriage did not work out, that every man or every woman is like that. That's point number one. Point number two, it also does not mean that you as a wife or him as a husband, the two of you are bad. It only means at times that the two of you, it did not match your akhlaq, your ways of dealing with each other. So all of this can be. Remember, in the marriage, he sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, if the man or the woman who come, they are religious, and وَتَرْضَوْنَ خُلُقَهُ دِينَهُ وَخُلُقَهُ, as much as the entire dunya, a woman has been taken out of it, here it shows the entire marriage, the husband and wife, the deen, from that deen, one single factor has been mentioned, and that is akhlaq, manners. Because you deal with your husband or your wife not on the deen. He prays the prayer as is. Every day your fight is not about salah. Every day it's not about Ramadan or Ramadan or Hajj or Zakah or Siyam. No. It is the akhlaq, manners. So this is where the major contribution is in the success of the marriage. Barakallahu feekum.
A long question. I'll try to.
Yes, please.
Other say he found a sister that he likes. They gave the number of the father or brother. Question is how to get the mother. What should I write in my so my question is what to write in the first message such that I show all that I have to offer and why to consider my book.
Okay, it's good that he wants to get married, and the sister straightway gave the number of her family. That's good. There are two ways. One, he is direct, or he uses someone else to speak on his behalf, which at times is better, because if there is any form of issues, the third party is the one who controls things. So I advise that to go through a third party to work on his behalf, like a lawyer, not a lawyer, but meaning that as a friend who supports and goes and talks. And then, or the other way is to put a CV, like a normal CV, the way you apply for a job. So you say you are Fulan, this is your education, you work, how you look, whatever, what is your expectation, what you are able to offer, and what kind of woman you are looking at for in marriage. And if you want to say in the future, this is my plan, it's fine, alhamdulillah, without any lie or exaggeration to it.
The question is generic question. I want to know how will I want to know how you will make the marriage
The entire talk was about that. Yes, it was about how to give success to your marriage. Yes.
During financial issues, how can we protect our, how can during a financial
Okay, that's very good. A good question, in fact. One of the major reasons at times for marital discord leading to talaq or having lots of issues at home, regular fights, abuses, misunderstanding is financial. At times, the reason is one of the two. At times, it is just something out of control. It could be the husband is gambling, the husband is in drugs, the husband is drinking. All these can be the issues. Now, in a normal, if these are the kind of things, of course, we know the answer what the man has to do or what the sister has to do. The sister may be too much online shopping, with Shein, with Chain or whatever there is. So, of course, these kind of things has to change. Or one of the two has got expensive tastes. Every time she goes, she wants to go to Sogo or some, even, what is the other one with the twin tower thingy? Quill, no, Quill is Petronas. So she only is after brand names and, or, then it is going to be a problem. So we need to recorrect ourselves. These are if there are reasons. But at times it may not be. In whatever the case is, we have Surah An-Nuh. Go and recite the first about 10-15 verses from Surah An-Nuh and read the translation if you don't know the Arabic language. If you see the advice of Nuh alayhi salatu wasalam to his people, he said, فَقُلْتُ اسْتَغْفِرُوا رَبَّكُمْ Istighfar, astaghfirullah, astaghfirullah, astaghfirullah. إِنَّهُ كَانَ تَوَّابًا يُرْسِلُ السَّمَاءَ عَلَيْكُمْ مِدْرَارًا وَيُمْدِدْكُمْ بِأَمْوَالٍ وَبَنِينَ وَيَجْعَلْ لَكُمْ جَنَّاتٍ وَيَجْعَلْ لَكُمْ أَنْهَارًا. Though Nuh is talking to his people, but it applies for everyone. You do your istighfar, Allah will give you wealth in abundance. It doesn't mean that today you do a lot of istighfar, tomorrow you become next Bill Gates. No, it doesn't happen that way. But there will be some barakah in it. If not in this dunya, then hereafter for sure. So you need to work out on that. Wa jazakumullah khairan. Istighfar is one of the important things. There are other things to do.
last question, how communicate marriage?
Communication is one of those things probably I mentioned here. Communication is important. Keeping things in your heart is not very good for you and healthy. So when you see that there is an issue with your husband or wife, depends who you are, and it's right from the beginning, in the time when you are not angry, in the time when things are normal, sit down and say, look, these are the things which I want to do for you. You start with it, just say, hey, you wake up in the morning, I'm going to job at 5 o'clock, I want you to be awake and cook me hot meal. He will give you a hot meal, but that may be the last meal for you. No, you could have done, Ani, that, you are so great. I want you to have a nice day, enjoy your life, things like this. And I want to do this and this and this for you. I want always to have enough food at home. I want to take you to trips. I want you to enjoy and don't work and be at home and be comfortable. And unless she is someone who has got extreme low IQ, she will understand, man. Yes, and then I should be waking up in the morning to give him hot meal. You get my point? This is the way you start. And if for months you have been trying to give the message, she does not understand, then you may start with, I like hot meals. Maybe she gets the message. So gradually, inshallah, she will come to Siratul Mustaqim. This is one example. There are hundreds. Barakallahu fikum and jazakumullah khairan for listening here, especially the parents who came with their children. And with this beautiful weather outside, I feel like to go and play soccer. This is my favorite time to play soccer, when it's very windy and rainy. That time the ball you don't control the ball controls you. Barakallahu fikum wa jazakumullah khairan. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdik wa nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.